All right, 10 o'clock. Got the four screen working. First trade. There are a couple things moving right now. The first one I wanted to mention was definitely VRX. Why? It's in my price range, more comparatively than others. So VRX is in an uptrend. It is in the healthcare sector. It's a biotech stock. We like that. It's a thick stock, trades lots of volume, so volume is always in play. Um, the trade type we're looking for here is a trend continuation play. So as you can see on the daily, we're in an uptrend. We have a pause in the trend, kind of with this pullback and so sideways day. So the idea is that we get above this day's high and look for a continuation entry. So we've triggered, through the day's high. We kind of have these little support zones right here. So the entry I'm looking for now is these prior little resistance levels to become support. Now that we traded cleanly through them, I'm waiting to buy a pullback into about the 65 cent area. So this is one of those times where I'm not too upset about trading in the opening range. I definitely would like to kind of let it pull back and maybe go sideways for a couple bars before I enter. VWAP's pretty close. We did notice that this was a tiny open up, but 36 cents isn't really that crazy of an open. So anyway, just to break down VRX and why I was looking at that. Another trade we're looking at is Overstock. Um, Overstock is in an uptrend. It's in a consumer cyclical sector, which is not my favorite sector, but has been super in play lately. Just came off a wide range day, so the volume's definitely in play on the daily. I don't have volume on my four screen, but definitely have the volume is in play here. Let's see, trade type, looking for trend continuation trade. So this is actually at the 52-week all-time high. As I said, already in an uptrend, and we're not quite overextended, kind of on the edge of the band. So maybe like today would be the day that kind of gets us into overextended. But as of now, we've broken out to the 52-week high. So maybe I want to see this prior day's high, be tested and then kind of go sideways, just to make it prove itself a little bit more because we have gone up. 50% in the past 5 days, and we've been green about 5 of the last 6 days. So yeah. So anyway, I want to keep my eye on VRX, more specifically because it's in my price range. So just gotta wait for this entry here. I have this screen here, and then I have my other screen that you're used to seeing over here to the left. So I've got those both working for me, and then I'm going to toggle, I'm going to place my trades on the left screen and basically use this screen to watch stuff, which is how I would do it in the future. Then I'm also going to be able to toggle Google, like search internet stuff here. Anyway, so yeah, these are all things I thought, it's like, okay, right, once you know the 4 trade types, you can kind of like use the same triggers for most of them and same entries for most of them, so it's not like you have to think of like new shit every night, but just like the same principles apply. And I think that's what you've been trying to harp into my head. Um, let's see, any other good stuff? There's squares on 36. FSLR. FSLR. I was looking at FSLR for just kind of trend continuation trade as well. So FSLR, tech sector, solar, was hot. I don't know how hot it is anymore, but definitely in an uptrend. Looking for a trend continuation trade. Volume has been in play. We're just underneath the all-time high. But we kind of gapped up off the open. Wasn't a huge gap, but I still didn't like that we opened up. $1. It's not too crazy. But if I had to choose between this and VRX, VRX is definitely way more in my price range. So not gonna miss VRX for FSLR. Or Overstock for that matter. I mean, Overstock's been going crazy, but I think FSLR, you get a pullback versus going up the past 6 days is the difference. Voyager, yes. So what's the setup here? Is it trending? No, but it's kind of coming off this little mini base. with volume in the background. So this would be like a resistance failing trade. And the volume is in play. Sorry, I've got my mouse over on the other screen. So volume is in play on this day. I know you can't see it on the daily chart, but there's a big volume day actually right here. And then we've been going sideways for about a month and some change. So this would be like a resistance failing, little mini base. Kind of in my sweet spot for the price range, but it's trading kind of thin intraday. So I got this from Kunal, and I decided to skip it. Just like really, I think VRX is the setup for today. So we'll just love it to come down and touch 65 cents. That would be fantastic. Or just kind of, just pull back like another 10 cents so I can get a better fill in the VWAP. I don't really want to chase because we've gapped up and then made this move. $1.25. So, looking at the daily chart, wide range days have been going for about $2. So, we still have like some more room to keep going. But yeah, I definitely wanted to pull back just a little bit more. What else do I have written down? Just while we're waiting on VRX, I'll keep an eye on to the side. Sorry. Clovis, I thought this was maybe a good example of a resistance holding trade. So Clovis, in a recent downtrend, I think if we look at the 1 year chart, you can definitely see at least intermediately we've made lower highs, lower lows, and so kind of made this new lower low and swing to the midline. All these overlapping days, you kind of see this 1-2 touch level, and then it was kind of like over under level. You can kind of see it like right in here, this level. I don't want to clutter up my daily chart. I really want to be objective with seeing the trend and not have it cluttered up with levels. But anyway, this over under level here, and so we opened right up to it and touched it and it failed. So I thought, maybe this is a good example of a resistance holding trade. So just like a little bit here. VWAP is shit. Where's my good one? Dude, nope. Not showing the box. We don't do the box one. Okay. Yeah, okay. VWAP is 50 cents. So, I wanted to come around more like just a little bit. I'm willing to wait for my price. And see, like, I feel so much more confident than the Roku trade, like I know what I'm looking for. I know where my levels are. I know what kind of trade it is, so I know what kind of entry I'm looking for. I did my homework the night before, so I feel super confident. Competent also and confident. As we go on sideways for a little bit, about 10 minutes. So it wouldn't be wrong to go long here, but still I want to get a better risk. So I'll wait for a better risk because I want to throw on my max share size. I think this is definitely an A+ setup. Kind of reminds me of my first Facebook trade. I think this is exactly the same setup on the daily. We had been in an uptrend, had this wide range day down, and then kind of like a sideways doji day. And I think that's where I got long Facebook. That very first trade I ever made. Alright, so I'm going to get ready for VRX here. Just to be able to pull the trigger when it's time. I'm just going to go ahead and do it, but I'm going to jump my share size down to 300 instead of 4. So there we go. My stop is here at 50 cents. Below this, so definitely below these, like in this range here. And I'm going to place it just below VWAP here. VWAP is 52. I'm going to place my stop right there. So I guess my entry was kind of like, it didn't have to come back and touch this level, but we had gone sideways for about like 10 minutes. feel like that was long enough to kind of control my risk in here, and the fact that I like didn't chase this move like right off the end. Um, anyway, I mean maybe it does come back and touch my price, but I think my stop's in a good place. So you had stuff like Roku, Roku gapped up off the open, but it wasn't like a monster gap. I mean, it was 4%. I mean, this thing's been running crazy, so this could be expansion breakout. So obviously Roku was a setup, stock in an uptrend. Pay TV is a hot sector. Volume's definitely in play. Trade type would be a trend continuation trade. So we opened up, but then we came and test down this like I think I had this level was like prior day's high. Prior day's high, yeah. So we touched that and then kind of held sideways. So it wouldn't have been wrong to throw on this trade in here. But I think VRX is kind of more in my sweet spot for price. But this definitely would have been an okay trade to take as well. But I had to risk a lot more. I think you have to risk like $1. But I mean, dude, this thing's at untested all-time highs and could just keep ripping up. So I think this is definitely another good stock. But we've come up now, 50% in the past 8 bars. I'm not saying it's overextended yet, because it's just kind of touching the edge of the Keltner, but naked gap Keltner. I mean, so there you go. Even if it is only a slight gap, it is still technically a naked gap Keltner. And as we said, want to make a habit of best practices and not trade naked gap Keltners. So. Elfin obviously super in play, but a huge gap, so totally avoid that. Riot gapped up off the open, avoid this gap. Xnet, got this sideways, kind of look for the breakout here, and I keep showing on the other fucking screen. Sorry, dude. This sideways here that I'm looking for, breakout either way, but we'll see where it breaks out. That's about it. This and Stock, Overstock, kind of what it went $10 yesterday. It's almost at $10 now. So from high to low right here, it was about $9. So maybe its wide range ATR was done. Kind of getting to the edge of the band, so maybe it's getting a little overextended. Haven't even checked the volume. I bet the volume's not too great on this last push. Yeah, the volume here is okay. But definitely think just like as far as like the trend and what we're expecting, what the daily chart setup is, that VRX is definitely better for me. Yeah, it's kind of the same reason I didn't trade Roku. But Roku is very different to Overstock, right? I mean, Overstock is a real company, but the sector is kind of meh. It's kind of like a tech, stock, kind of. I mean, it's online services, right? I mean, but so is Alibaba, I guess. So I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Anyway. So, yeah, so now the the question is like, what the fuck do I do? When I've got this trade on, like that have met all my criteria. I guess I didn't go over in VRX. Oh, come on, chart. You have kills. Come on. Can't imagine they're running 2 windows of this. There we go. Is helping matters any? I guess we didn't go over, you know, the problem areas. Is this technically a gap up, go up? No. I mean, it opened up, but is this a gap up? No. So did it go up right off the open? Yes. Was it like the wide range ATR? No. High to low, it's a buck. These wide range days gone for 2. So, you know, still some meat on the bone. Yeah, that means definitely holding higher. What can I do? Like check Bitcoin? I don't know. Well, people say that like when your mailman's talking about like Bitcoin and like all the dude, like everybody at work, like all these fucking teachers, like even this chick like that from Texas that she just like, you know, knows absolutely nothing. She's like talking about, you know, how she went to a Bitcoin meeting like a year ago. Just like everybody's talking about it. The mania is so real. It's very, very crazy to be in the middle of a real bubble. Because obviously, you know, I wasn't trading during the tech bubble, and I didn't really have any idea what was actually happening during the housing market crash. So, and I mean, it is the biggest bubble in the history of the markets, and it's pretty damn cool to watch. But no, I mean, I had my old defensive coordinator from Bethel was like, yo, Bitcoin 3000, like, and I was like, uh-huh. But I mean, I guess I'm the asshole. It's up like 6 times that, but you know, can you control your risk there? IDK. Anyway, definitely did my homework. You know, also what like we like this Monday. Um, what other things are constructive for our trade here? Sector's good. Up trading with the trend, not chasing the trend. You kind of have a setup of this like narrow range doji day. It's Cove H. Um, volume's right. Um, not overextended. You know, we're back inside the band here. Anyway, yeah, you know, like I said, I mean, yeah, it's just the difference. Like, if I had a choice, you know, I think BRX is definitely more set up. I mean, you know, clean flag and overstock, but the fact of the matter is, it did go up $8 off the open, and yesterday was like one of the widest range days that, you know, it was like $10. So, but like we just said, this shit went up. What from this day? Basically, we're up 60% in a real stock, and fucking, you know, from this day. 55% in the real stock, and so yeah, it's like the Roku idea, you know. I mean, you could go long Roku here, but So a new 2-month high coming off wider today could be expansion breakout. You know, if you threw on a short, or sorry, excuse me, long right here, and you know, wrist under here, it's a more aggressive entry. Real safe entry is down here, but you gotta risk a $1.30. That's a fucking whole lot. So I called out SC. Shadow of yesterday's range though. So anyway, you know, I did want to put on my max size here. So I got filled at what, 80, filled at 81. So and my max size would be 400 shares if I'm, you know, trading with ClickFunnels. So that would, you know, that would put me kind of right at VWAP. I'm definitely below this like consolidation here. So, you know, but I think, you know, like listening to someone like Steve Burns, who was talking about like, and I mean, you've told me this too, you know, like you always put my stop further away, but he was just saying like at the beginning of his trading career, one of his biggest problems was oversizing, right? Because you want to get big, you want to make as much money as possible. I'm greedy, you know, and then fucking, you know, now his problem is he doesn't get big enough, right? So, but you know, number one job is to manage risk, right? And that's what you always tell me. Number one job is to manage risk. So that's what I'm doing. So now, you know, I don't want to get in the business of like taking too many trades. Just kind of like looking at the rest of the things I wrote down. You know, I wrote Nvidia over 194, but I'm not really in love with it. The short-term picture doesn't know what it's doing. It's up, it's down. It's, you know, not really clearly trending either way. I did kind of see a level. This level right here, and I thought maybe if we got above, or excuse me, this level right here, maybe we got above this, you know, could resume the, you know, trend on the 1-year chart. You know, so like trading with the longer term trend, but you know, once again, it's $200 stock. VRX is in my price range. Like, why would I prioritize this over, you know, I'm gonna trade something more expensive. At least it should be like a Roku or an Overstock, you know, or let's see what else is going on in the high beta. Bips gap pass. Twitter gap up, go up, pass. VRX, yep. BlackBerry is kind of sideways on the daily. Kind of getting above these recent highs here. I don't know, fucking BlackBerry moves like 23 cents a day. 50 cents on its fucking best days. Like, fuck out of here. ETF, ETF, ETF. ETF, 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 ETF. The worst fucking song ever made, dude. I know why older people hate younger generations now. Like I totally get it. I totally get it. Apple breakout. Do I like the fact that we opened up and went up? Nope. But prior resistance becomes support, maybe. Haven't really had a huge run up here. It's definitely in an uptrend at all-time highs. So, and Apple is high beta market darling. But once again, shit's like way outside my price range. I don't want to, I'd rather just wait. We were talking about FSLR. So, okay, FSLR is kind of going sideways. So, per your genius, I'm just gonna give myself a little think. If we get get near the opening range high, somewhere in here, which might be soon, let me know. I don't have to look at it again. Nothing. Right, so, here we go. Riot as a naked gap to all-time highs, but, going sideways. Going sideways and kind of making higher lows into the level. So higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. But I don't want to trade a gap, man. I just don't. So if this thing starts fucking catching volume, short's gonna get squeezed. So wouldn't, But we're already kind of in overextended territory. Like this is a true naked gap Keltner. Sorry, okay, totally get away from process. So what's Riot? Riot is a blockchain stock. It's definitely an uptrend. Definitely an uptrend. Is the volume in play? Super in play? What kind of trade type would this be? Well, it could be, a trend continuation trade, but we're we're kind of naked gapped outside of Keltner, and this bar kind of closed way off its lows, and anyway. You're calling on SSC, like, okay, where do you get in here? Now I'm asking, where do you control your risk? What is your setup? He reminds me of me because he's just super fucking greedy and he's smart, but he knows he's smart, I mean, I guess you could have called this like, one touch, two touch level. So when we zoomed down to that level and then bounced off of it pretty hard, could have went sideways there. Could have been entry. Alright. So I'm trying to see what this motherfucker's talking about. So he got in right here. Should we red to green? That's not a horrible. So he bought yesterday, which, yeah, if you got this little breakout, I guess it wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Anyway, whatever. Fucking, I'd rather just, volume and play. Fucking, but it's in this bar shadow. You roll this back. It's like. Well, I'm still in play. I wouldn't have been interested until over $4, which, because you're in the middle of this shit. So, but if you saw that little level forming intraday, like maybe you could have done something with that. IDK, bro. Not something I want to spend any more time worried about. I kind of just like FSLRs, kind of hovering. Let's see, go sideways a little bit more. Or you could buy this little hover. I guess their stop's going to be down around VWAP. Another trend continuation type. I threw a couple hundred shares of this. There we go. Opposite 25 cents. Beautiful VRX stair stepping. That's dope. I'm afraid I may have made an error here in FSLR. Maybe trying to be too cute here. So, I mean, it's not really a big gap open. Trading with the trend, you know, not terribly overextended, and it's a trend continuation trade, so buying the hover, you know, before we break higher days. One sideways, came down to higher level. Anyway. Maybe once a better way to trade this would be, okay, we come test the high of day again, and then you pay the breakout. But yeah, let's let it spend some more time. Show me what it's going to do instead of just like guessing. This is definitely not a, what kind of entry is that? You know, I don't know. I stated my setup, stated the trigger is going sideways above the level, holding above the level for, you know, an hour. But, you know, what is the... trying to think about like, I usually don't like holding over the weekend, but with this Roku trade, what was my exit? I mean, it was definitely, market order close prior day, right at the, I mean, actually, I actually sold quite early in the day because I didn't want to, like right when I went to bed. It's like somewhere like there. And it was just like as we were testing that prior high. Obviously we had a huge like run into the end of the day. But I think trend trades you should hold into the close. And but I was thinking about like what about holding over the weekend is what kind of scared me. I think if it was like one, like Monday to tomorrow, like maybe, but it was pretty scary thinking about holding over the weekend. Yeah, I'm fucking giddy to shit in my pants, okay? Leave me alone. SLR like 69? 69. So yeah, so just wait. Just wait and go fucking sideways. And I can like feel like I have a lot, higher probability of this breakout instead of just doing that. So just, wait. Wait. At least here, if I get in, we've gone sideways under the level for, 15, 10 minutes. Maybe made a higher low, and then I guess I control my risk a little bit better. So yeah, these are the reasons why we passed on these two, right, Roku and Overstock. I mean, I know I said something earlier, but you really talk about it, like Naked Guy Piltner, right? Naked Guy Piltner, Overstock, wide range ATR finish. So there you go. Fucking rules save the day. So it was above 18 and below 15, basically. And then what did Voyager end up doing? Not shit. I'm just curious about Clovis. I'm not going to mean anything. No real volume. And then this is why I'm not a fan of like those support trades or like the resistance holding trades, because you come back and all this crap. So like this is one of those situations where you hit this and maybe you pop back up and take this and you're out. I guess. You have to like risk 40 cents. Maybe. It's a lot of hard work, I feel. I like this. This looks so much fucking simpler to me. Yeah, FSLR is about to teabag me. What was I doing? I ain't even on the fucking volume buzz, dude. You know? I'm gapped up. Open up. You know, not even within the prior day's range. So that's kind of shitty. So anyway, unnecessary trade. Oh, trading within the opening range. Avoidable? Avoidable. Spur. Why, you know? Why take this? Rather focus on the good trade. That looks flaggy on a 5 minute, right? Why are we clicking on a fucking 5 minute? It's about to stop me out. That's what. There we go. So, silly trade. We'll see why it was dumb. You know, trading within the opening range. So, set an alert. We get up there and fucking, you know, break out to the high of day. Once we break out to the high of day, maybe there's a trade. But, you know, until we do, like, why am I trying to do this shit? And, you know, also, if the trigger is going sideways above the level, I want to see it hover here for much longer than 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. You know, maybe 10 minutes. Ooh. Anyway. So, yeah, so, you know, good review here. Okay, like, I didn't go through the process. I went through the process on VRX. I didn't go through the process on FSLR. You know, I didn't go through the full thing. Problems, the P in step is, you know, opening range. So problems would be gaps, especially naked ones. Too far, too fast. No meat. Left left on the bone. Trading within the opening range. Trading within the prior 3 days range. Which, is this in the prior 3 days? Yes, but for BRX, but we, you know, it's within the confines of the setup being the trend trade. So, generally speaking, do we want to be trading in the prior 3 days range? Nope. But this be a trend trade. What else? Yeah, it's too far too fast to be in the bone opening range, prior 3 days, and yeah, you know, if I just fucking, you know, okay, here's a situation in FSLR. I had a setup, I had a trigger, but I had no clear entry. And it's like, and one, okay, also having the entry, two, and checking my problems. So, I mean, I got to the SMT and then the E and P, you know, so I'll just get better at fucking following the steps. The 4-step program. 11 12. You cut it in into 1/3. You know, it's easier to trade than be an alcoholic, right? Or not be an alcoholic. I guess that's what you're trying to say. So, anyway. So, I'm just going to continue to manage this VRX. But I think it was good. I took that loss there in FSLR. Really reinforced, like, I need to follow every part of the step and not just ignore shit willfully, like having a real entry and you know, the problems, or what are the problems. So you gotta check all the problems too. And if I do that, I don't have a losing trade, and you know, I'm not in the red, like just trying to fight back for a break-even day, or you know, having this like hanging over my head instead of just being an open profit. And I definitely feel like in less of a position of psychological strength now. So there's always that. Anyway, I'm hanging up now. Yeah, later.